If you're stirring a batch of biscuits, buttermilk biscuits, that baking soda goes right to work, and you can actually see it working in the bowl as you're stirring it. But you know what? It expends itself really quickly. Baking powder needs to be in a liquid, introduced to a liquid. The difference with baking powder, it needs heat to activate. When you're adding baking soda and baking powder in a recipe, like a cake, that's typically where you see both. The baking soda goes to work right away in the mixing bowl and in the oven, and it starts raising up. But you know what? It runs out of energy pretty fast. It's like the Sprinter. If you were to just have baking soda, your cake would sink in the middle. But it's okay because you've got baking powder. It's the marathon runner. As your baking soda is using itself up, the baking powder kicks in as it's getting warmed up, and it just keeps that process raising, so you get a nice level cake that bakes evenly. Right now I'm taping 20 episodes of my show, and I think we've gone through 60 to 75 pounds of butter. That's just making single batches of a recipe. It's a little bit ridiculous. I'm on my own. I don't have a team helping me initially, because you know what? I know when you're in your kitchen, likely the first time you make something, you're on your own. And you know what the biggest motivator is for me to make a recipe work well? Minimal dishes. Because if I'm in a restaurant kitchen and I've got someone to do the dishes, well, spatula in the sink, spoon in the sink, 6 bowls, no problem. But if I have to wash my own dishes, let's see how we can do this with 1 bowl and 1 spoon. Because of my high tea experience at the Empress in Victoria, this season of Bake, I'm making Battenberg cake. For those of you who've never had Battenberg cake, it's ridiculously pretty girly cake. It's a checkerboard of pink and white cake, coated in apricot jam, wrapped in marzipan. It's so pretty. Pour in a couple tablespoons of fluid whipping cream into your over-whipped whipped cream. Whisk it in by hand. It will melt. Your whipping cream will break down again, melt, and then on medium speed, not high speed, that's what did you in last time. Whip it up to the point you missed the first time around. Pour in a full liter of whipping cream. And I'll turn the food processor on high speed. Yay! We're making butter. Woo! This is all you have to do to make butter. You're agitating the cream. It's going to separate the fat. Don't whip your egg whites on high speed. You can whip them on 1 speed less than high, not compromise the volume, but you've just bought yourself a nice little window of time. You go make a cup of tea. The time it takes you to boil the kettle, steep a cup of tea, dress it as you wish, go sit down, drink that cup of tea. Those egg whites, because they're over whipped, are going to collapse a little bit. And you're going to find you get a little bit of liquid down at the bottom of your mixing bowl. Whip them, just like the cream, on medium speed, back to that point you missed the first time, even if you have the sugar added. You'll see all that liquid coming off of there? That's the way. You know what it is? Buttermilk, yes, that's exactly what it is, and that's how you can use it. So don't throw it away. If you want, you can grab a piece of cheesecloth or linen, put the butter in there, give it a good squeeze, and then you want to drop it in ice water. And there we go. Adding sea salt, a little sprinkle on top. You can put a little piece of parchment on your butter dish, and then it looks just so artisanal.